The FIFA World Cup has created legends, sparked scandals, broken hearts, and even started riots. But the strangest story in World Cup history began before a single match was even played. London, March 1966. In just 4 months, England is set to host the FIFA World Cup. It is their ultimate moment to shine on the global stage, to prove they are the undisputed kings of the sport they invented. There is just one tiny, minuscule, catastrophic problem. They lost the trophy! The Jules Rimet trophy, a solid gold masterpiece worth a small fortune, was stolen from a highly guarded public exhibition at Westminster Central Hall. And by highly guarded, I mean the thieves literally just swiped it while the security guards were taking their tea break. I am not making that up. The absolute most British heist of all time. Absolute, unadulterated panic ensues. The Football Association is sweating bullets. So deeply embarrassed by this colossal security failure that they secretly commission a replica trophy, hoping nobody will notice they misplaced the most famous piece of hardware on planet Earth. Meanwhile, Scotland Yard is baffled. A ransom note arrives, arrests are made, but the trophy is nowhere to be found. The finest detectives in Britain, the country that literally invented Sherlock Holmes, are coming up completely empty. The nation needs a hero. Enter our protagonist, a black and white collie named Pickles. Now, Pickles was not a highly trained police canine. He was not a private investigator. Pickles was just a very good boy out for a casual evening pee break in South London with his owner, David Corbett. While searching for a suitable spot to do his business, Pickles' highly attuned tactical senses zero in on a suspicious newspaper-wrapped package shoved under a hedge. His owner unwraps it, and boom, there it is, the Jules Rimet trophy. Let me reiterate this. The entire British police force, MI5, and the best detectives in the free world got utterly outclassed by a dog sniffing a bush. From that moment on, Pickles wasn't just a dog. He was a national icon. When England actually went on to win the 1966 tournament, Pickles was the VIP guest of honor. He was invited to the official celebration banquet. He was awarded a silver medal by the National Canine Defense League. And while the human players were up on the balcony celebrating their historic victory, Pickles was literally under the table eating the leftovers from the England team's victory dinner. Oh, and it gets better. Pickles leveraged his newfound clout to pivot to Hollywood, starring in a 1966 spy comedy film aptly titled The Spy with a Cold Nose. He found the trophy, saved the country's dignity, ate a 5-star meal, and booked a movie deal. He honestly had a better agent than half the players on the pitch. While Pickles the Dog saved the World Cup from outside the stadium, other animals preferred a more direct approach, or paws on. To most people, an animal running onto a football pitch is just a funny interruption. But to football historians, it's an elite tactical intervention. Let's go to the tape. World Cup quarterfinal. A place in the semifinals is on the line. England versus the reigning world champions, Brazil. The tension is unbearable. And then, Brazil's greatest midfield disruptor enters the match. A local stray dog breaches the perimeter and wanders onto the pitch. Players from both teams immediately try to catch him. Unfortunately, his dribbling statistics are absolutely outrageous. He's cutting inside, changing direction, leaving professional footballers chasing absolutely nothing. Finally, legendary England striker Jimmy Greaves realizes brute force isn't working, so he lowers his center of gravity. He gets on all fours. He closes the gap. Perfect timing. Clean tackle. Possession won. The crowd erupts. But Greaves forgot football's oldest rule. Play to the whistle. In a devastating counterattack, the dog immediately urinates all over Jimmy Greaves' spotless white England jersey. England goes on to lose the match 3-1. Draw your own conclusions. But the story gets even better. Brazilian superstar Garrincha witnessed the entire incident and thought it was absolutely hilarious. Game recognizes game. He adopted the stray dog, brought him back to Brazil, and named him Bai, short for Bai Campeões, celebrating Brazil becoming 2-time World Cup champions. Some football legends lift trophies. Others accidentally earn themselves a permanent home. But this legendary pitch invader was only the beginning. Over the years, football has attracted an entire generation of four-legged specialists, and frankly, their scouting reports are incredible. Good boy. Position: box-to-box midfielder. Pace: 99. Stamina: infinite. Tackling: 86. Ball retrieval: 100. Understands offside rule? Absolutely not. Straight cat. Position: winger. Acceleration: 99. Agility: 99. Composure: 100. Passing: 0. Because cats don't pass, they expect everyone else to support them. One stray dog accidentally became part of football history. But the next animal didn't interrupt the World Cup. It predicted it. In 2010, the global sports betting market was worth billions of dollars. Algorithms, supercomputers, and syndicates spent fortunes trying to predict the outcomes of the World Cup in South Africa. But they were all puppets. The real strings were being pulled by a Don operating out of a secure, watery compound in Oberhausen, Germany. His name was Paul. Paul was an English-born octopus living in a German sea life center. His handlers devised a simple offer. Before a match, they would lower 2 clear acrylic boxes into his tank. Each box had a national flag on it. Inside each box was a single delicious mussel. Whichever box Paul opened and ate from first was his official prediction for the winner. At first, it was a cute local news story, but then Paul predicted Germany would beat Australia, correct? He predicted they would lose to Serbia, correct? He predicted they would beat Ghana, England, and Argentina, correct. Suddenly it wasn't cute anymore. It was a global meltdown. Paul went 6 for 6. Imagine spending 40 years of your life analyzing soccer formations, studying heat maps, and building a career in sports broadcasting, only to have your entire segment upstaged by a mollusk eating a clam. Paul held the international betting markets hostage, and he didn't even have a wallet. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. In the semifinals, Paul was asked to predict the match between his home country, Germany, and Spain. Paul chose Spain. Germany lost, and the German public turned on their oracle. I am not exaggerating when I say there were actual literal death threats issued against an octopus. Angry fans went on national television demanding he be thrown into a frying pan. They wanted him tossed in a paella. They wanted him sautéed in garlic butter. The mob wanted blood. The situation became an international diplomatic incident. It got so severe that the actual Prime Minister of Spain, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, publicly offered Paul official state protection. The Spanish government was ready to deploy security for a sea creature. For the grand finale, Paul predicted Spain would beat the Netherlands in the final. He was right. Paul finished the 2010 World Cup with a 100% perfect record. 8 predictions, 8 flawless victories. Having proven his absolute dominion over human affairs, Paul did what any legendary boss does. He ascended to godhood, retired immediately, and died peacefully of old age a few months later before he could ever make a wrong prediction. 0 apologies, 0 mistakes, the ultimate mic drop. When Paul the Octopus passed away, he left a massive 8-legged hole in our hearts. But more importantly, to zoo marketing departments across the globe, he left a massive hole in global media engagement. Thus began the great psychic arms race. Throughout the 2014, 2018, and 2022 World Cups, desperate corporations and local farms tried to force magic to happen twice. It resulted in the most absurd knockoff Avengers initiative the world has ever seen.
Choose your champion!
Here comes a new challenger!
Achilles the Deaf Cat, the official oracle of Russia 2018. They claimed his lack of hearing gave him heightened sixth sense psychic abilities. Spoiler alert, it just meant he couldn't hear the haters when his predictions completely flopped.
Choose your champion!
Here comes a new challenger!
Marcus the Mystic Pig, a micro-pig from Derbyshire who predicted games by eating apples. He didn't look like a mystic, he looked like a guy who just woke up from a nap and wanted a snack.
Choose your champion!
Here comes a new challenger!
Nelly the elephant, Germany's desperate attempt to reclaim the glory days of Paul. You know the saying, an elephant never forgets? Well, Nelly definitely forgot how to analyze a four-man defensive backline.
Choose your champion.
Here comes a new challenger.
And finally, Manny the parakeet from Singapore. Cute? Yes. Tactically astute? Absolutely not. The results were a complete and utter disaster. Achilles picked Nigeria over Argentina, wrong. Marcus the Pig completely botched the 2014 semifinals, wrong. Monty the Parakeet foolishly tried to go head-to-head against Paul the Octopus in the 2010 final, picking the Netherlands, absolutely humiliating, wrong. And Nelly the Elephant's win rate was barely above a literal coin flip, wrong. The harsh reality is that none of them had the sauce. These institutions failed to realize a fundamental truth. You cannot mass-produce greatness. Paul was different. Paul wasn't just guessing. Paul was clearly a time traveler who got trapped in an eight-legged body as punishment for messing with the space-time continuum. And he was using the 2010 World Cup to communicate with his home dimension. It's the only logical explanation. Respect the dawn. At the end of the day, sports are incredibly stressful. We tie our entire national identities, our emotional well-being, and our geopolitical pride to 22 guys running around a field kicking a leather sphere. But whenever a cephalopod claims absolute dominion over the global gambling syndicate, or a stray dog on a pee break manages to out-Detective Scotland Yard to find the world's most valuable trophy in a bush, it's just a gentle, necessary reminder from the universe. Don't take it all so seriously.